Hey guys, I hope you guys doing well. Welcome to our camper. In this video, I'd like to talk about the bunk bed that I've designed and built, which is stored behind me right now. And then also talk a little bit about how we use it and what I think about the bunk bed in general in a camper, or especially in the Teardrop camper. Okay, for the dimension, it's 28 inches from the back to the leading edge here, and 57 long, which is width of the camper. The height from the back to the ceiling is about 21 inches, and out here in the front, it's about 23 to the ceiling here. Below the bunk bed here, there's about 15 inches from the main mattress to the bottom of the bunk, so that's our space for our legs. And then from the same main mattress here all the way to the ceiling is about 41 inches. Okay, so here's the bunk bed folded in half, and the slide that I'm using, it's Accuride 3640A heavy duty over travel slide with an adapter rail mount disconnect. So what it does is, one, it's over travel, so I think it's over travel is 1 inch. So you can see this gap here, it actually comes out a little bit further out than where this is stored at. So you can see the front of the face of the bunk is well inset of the cabinet here, but when you pull that out, it comes out further than the face of this cabinet. So it helps to maintain or provide more width for the bunk. Now, and then the adapter portion of it is you can raise it and then remove it, remove the bunk, and you can kind of see there's a like a hook and a catch there, and to install the bunk bed. So this slide is 14 inches long, and it's rated at the 200 pounds here. So, you know, I think even I can get on there and be okay to, you know, from this the hardware standpoint, I think it can support me. The reason that I need the adapter is obviously when it's extended, there's no way to attach a screw from the other side of the rail. Now the some type of a rail, I mean the slide will, you know, there's a like little flip that you can press to remove this section, but the way I had the door and this door trim, there's no way I would be able to do that. So, and then this adapter actually makes it a little bit easier to install. On the ceiling here, I use the round aluminum tie down, and it's a quick release, so I can do this and release it, and put that on there. And then this thing here, it's rated for about 1,000 pounds force or load going straight down, or if you have to pull that diagonally, it's 500 pounds each. So I don't see any problem holding kids, as long as, you know, the bed itself is doable or rated or constructed to support the kids. I think my camper is gonna fall apart before this anchor points have any issues. And also we use this cargo net to kind of hung from these same strap, and it has a dual purpose. It helps, you know, with the falling kids, and then also you know, it can store kind of bulky stuff like in the winter, you know, coat and jacket, gloves, you know, stuff like that. We just stuffed it in here, and actually it creates a little bit of privacy from the main floor to the bunk. So the when kids are up there, they kind of like that. They, you know, they say they feel like they got their own sort of private room. Here's the bunk bed removed from the camper. It's folded in half. This is the bracket with the adapter that's mounted on the either side, and that's the piece that catches the hook on the slide. Typically, I set the back side, like tilt the back side in, and then once it catches the slide, I'll drop the front side to engage into the slide. On back here at the drawer latch, get this opened up, and that's the strap that's used to hang the bunk bed. And outer frame is 1x3. The inner, so the cross member is 1x2, and the actual bed floor or the board is 1/4 inch plywood. And so I have a few bungee net inside of the frame to just additional storage for, you know, coats, hat, cap, stuff like that. And this here is the card table. I have a magnet here to catch it, and I use this to hook it into the ceiling mount. So there it is. And realistically, I could have probably made this one out of a probably same 1x2. That would have been made the bed probably 2 inches narrower when it's folded in half, and that would give me more space under the feet when it was everything stored. So here's the corner of the bunk bed, and on both sides I cut the corners off, so that would give access to the door latch. And how tall are you? Well, I guess the width is 57, so just, is your head touching?
No, my head.
So you got, I guess we got a couple more inches. You're a little bit scary there, man. And I guess it's a little bit tight for Kane there. Kind of cozy, isn't it? Thank you. So if they slip there, both of them at the same time, side by side, it actually could work as long as they don't move much.
Me.
This is how May sleeps at night, and actually her head is where our feet is going to be. Okay, now that you know a little more about our bunk bed, let's talk about actually using the bunk beds. Our bunk bed, you saw it's 28 inches, and then you saw the image of two of our kids sleeping on it side by side. So it's big enough for two kids, but it's not actually big enough to have 2 kids sleep there, because you know they move around too much, and then you know it's probably a little bit too uncomfortable for them. But it does expand the living space inside of the camper. So if we're hanging out inside of the camper, 2 of them can be on top, and then you know 2 adults would be on the main floor, and you know we can play cards, or we can actually eat, you know, or kids could be out here playing, you know, with them, or reading books, and we could be doing something else. And you saw this the cargo net, and you know if we stuff the jackets and stuff, so it creates a separate space. So it actually helped us with the sort of usability of this space. And then I know some of you may be saying, well, it's camping, you know, so why are you staying inside? And you're right, and then we try to stay outside as much as possible, but there's certainly many cases we had to stay in the camper. First few years, every time we went camping, it rained. I mean, you know, it's East Tennessee rain, so it's not just a drizzle rain. I mean, it's just pouring down rain, and we just had to stay inside. And then having the camper big enough for 4 people to actually, you know, somewhat comfortably, it helped. And then also, you know, it could be the case where it's too hot or too cold, and you know it just give you a little more option. And so, you know, from that standpoint, having the you know bunk bed, and then make it big enough such that it kind of acts as a loft in a house, similar to that. So I think it's helpful. The 29 inches of the ceiling height for the bunk, you know, I think that's generous, but you know, it kind of gives them a little more of a sort of livability to actually spend more time comfortably on the bunk. You know, if it was more designed just to sleep, you know, we could kind of make it such that, you know, maybe this, you know, 18 inches or 16 inches, that's probably good enough for them to just curl up in there and then sleep, but not much more. The mattress. The mattress that I have in the bunk is very thin. It's probably an inch maybe. It's just one of those mattress topper. But for kids, that's plenty. I can probably ask them to sleep without the mattress, just on the sleeping bag, and you know they're probably not going to have any kind of back pain in the morning. You know, the kids being young, you know, they can handle that. Of course, us adult in the main floor, you know, we can't have enough mattress. You know, if I needed to, I'll have 12-inch whatever, but you know, of course, that's gonna cut into the actual living space, so we don't do that. But as far as the mattress in the bunk bed, something very thin is good enough, and it depends on how you set it up. Floor is here, so if you have a thick mattress, it's going to get into, you know, actually opening up the you know, cabinet doors and things like that. So that's something that you have to think about. You know, this is something that I went back and forth. You know, we actually have a hard bed for the bunk, and you know, for kids, for them to just sleep, you know, cot style, you know, just have a 2 bar that span across the wall, and have a fabric in between, kind of cot or hammock kind of thing. You know, that would kind of help, because that kind of limit them, you know, from moving around too much, because they're kind of strict to kind of sleep in between those bars. But I think it's probably not too comfortable for them. I don't know. And so, you know, that's something, you know, different kind of design that you could consider if you're kind of tight in the space. And then also, you know, that's probably much simpler in the construction. So that's something else to consider. And, you know, I decided to go with slide out, but, you know, I've seen some where you flip down and then either have a support on the wall to catch the platform coming down. But then, you know, when it's folded up, you know, you may have issue with the, interfering with the cabinet. So that might be an issue how you may have to think about how you set that up. From the kids' standpoint, they enjoy sleeping on the bunk. The thing about the kids is that, you know, when they get tired, they can sleep anywhere. I mean, you know, right now my daughter, you know, she sleeps, her head would be under the cabinet, and then she says she prefers that. And sort of the you know, sort of the close, kind of tight environment, she somewhat enjoys it, and she says she can sleep better. And then also she feels like she has her own space. Thinking about the bunk bed, you know, that was a main goal. That was one of the must-have in our camper. I wanted to design and to build a camper where I can bring my kids out and to the outdoor, and, you know, a little bit better than just a tent, because, you know, we started using our camper when my son was about, what, 5, and then daughter was about 2. So having a little more than a tent, you know, if I didn't have it, you know, we probably wouldn't come out camping. And so from that standpoint, you know, it worked. It gave us what we needed. And I think, you know, you saw my son got a few more inches to you know, grow out of this bunk bed. And then we don't know exactly what we're going to do. You know, maybe such that she's, you know, daughter's going to be on the bunk, and maybe Kane, or my son, may sleep like she's doing now, facing that way, head being towards the galley. And, you know, I don't know, maybe we can continue to sleep 4 inside. And something to, I guess, to say, you know, this works because of us, you know, because, you know, we're small people. I'm about 5'6". My wife is, I think, somewhere around 5. And so we're not big people, we're short. And you know, there's growing up, there's nothing much positive about being short, but this is one of the advantages of being short. All right, thank you for watching the video, and hope this helped. You know, this is one case, one way to have a bunk and expand space for your family. And let me know if you have other type of a design for the family camper. I would love to see. Thank you.